Oh, sweet. Is this the long-awaited SpaghettiOs movie, adapted from the canned pasta of the same name? Listen, Sega, your universe, as it pertains to movies, is not on par with a Marvel or DC or even a Conjuring. Until you come up with a few more titles and a Phantasy Star adaptation, you can spare me your golden axe and Space Harrier images. Nowhere in this musical intro does the classic boot-up Sega sound play. Also, 47 seconds of logos. Jesus! Holy shit! Goddamn! Did the font have to be inside my face right now? This movie went to the Captain America Civil War School of place naming things. Ah, yes, well, now it makes sense that the title card had to be so big. With an image like this, there's just nobody that would assume this is a mushroom planet, let alone the very same mushrooms growing mushrooms on top of mushrooms planet from the end of the first movie. We haven't even gotten 2 minutes into this movie and they're already throwing a Shroom Goldberg contraption at us.
The question is, for whom am I narrating this?
The movie tries to preemptively sin itself to avoid the devastating catastrophe of being sinned by us. Here's 2 sins for trying to steal from the sin elves who nitpick the minds of minutia in the search for the things of power.
Planetus, Exodus, Turriturnicus, and Kick Blue Boticus!
I recognize most of those Latin words, but it's weird that you said kick when you should have said some form of Caltatrea. Dr. Robotnik is holding on to jumper cable ends, but when he flies backwards, he's just holding on to the quill. Now, this all seems impossible unless he caught it mid-air when the pulse went off, but why not show that sweet moment?
Patu Barada Nikto!
Taking the day the Earth stood still's name in vain. I'm going to forego asking about the probability of Dr. Robotnik predicting the portal placement and instead go straight to pointing out how impossible it would be to choreograph where the traps would need to be set to foil exactly 3 portal people.
It's time to say goodbye to this piece of shiitake planet!
Covering up profanities with profungities. While monologuing so long, you miss your window of opportunity.
They're still on us!
Is that surprising? You have windows all around you. Windows that are at eye level, mind you. Use your f***ing eyes. Movie uses Run DMC's It's Tricky as the soundtrack to this scene, the lyrics of which don't have anything to do with what Sonic does here. I truly think they used this because the band's name has Run in it, which means they could have used Christmas in Hollis and it would have had the same meaning. This woman is casually crossing the street looking at her phone when she clearly doesn't have a walk sign. The walk sign that you see here is for the perpendicular crosswalk. The movie is trying to say this near miss happens because Sonic isn't watching the road, but I put all the blame on this probable Instagram influencer here.
Why aren't you slowing down?
That would require brakes.
So this whole time, there's been a bad guy passed out or maybe even dead lying on the gas pedal and he's blocking the brakes as well? This asshole cannot be simultaneously lying on the pedal and the brake at the same time. Many of the maneuvers we've seen require a delicate relationship between them both. And that's how Sonic killed the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Seeing Sonic do all this shit with his super speed makes me think he could have solved the problem of the runaway van and the bombs way before this moment. Is Sonic super loved in Green Hills? Is he the local secret? Because everyone can see the blue streak coming down the mountain and through the town. If the movie tries to pretend that he lives a secret life where no one knows he exists, I will call bullshit. Real humans get petty about their neighbor's slightly too large outdoor shed blocking their view of a hydrangea bush. Sonic's location would have been sold out by greedy people 10 times by now. Why the hell does this asshole need to sneak anywhere when he can just Quicksilver wherever he wants without making a noise? Another one thing triggers another mechanism? Does the movie want me to keep track of how often these appear or something?
I wouldn't come any closer because this little hedgehog had way too many chili dogs. Oh no, oh no.
I wonder why Sonic couldn't have just pretended to be sick in bed rather than going with the I have too much gas method, which would have spared us the fart jokes and we could have focused on the straight-up theft of Ferris Bueller's Day Off instead.
Trust me when I tell you there will come a time when your powers will be needed, but you don't choose that moment.
Don't say it. God, don't say it chooses you because that is so f***ing dumb. I'm not ready for this. Sonic would still have to choose to be a hero in a moment where the moment chose him. Don't say it.
That moment chooses you.
Did you steal that from Oprah?
Oprah? Why is a kids movie coming out in 2022 referencing Oprah as a source of wisdom? Do kids read magazines on the bottom rack of grocery store checkout aisles? Do they know what an aisle even is anymore? Sonic fearlessly throws his lower half onto water and runs atop it to create a speedboat. This seems like a perfectly good time to question his previous fear of being in the water because he can't swim.
Okay, use this one to get back home.
How do the rings work? Sonic tosses one, but it doesn't open a portal. Did the ring know that Sonic didn't want it to be used? What if he'd accidentally been thinking about a place and flicked it to Tom, who was already in a portal? Would a portal in a portal create a cataclysmic event? Or is there a shutdown sequence? How does a portal know when to close at the right time?
Let's do this.
There's no way they don't do a risky business spoof here because Hollywood is creatively bankrupt, I'm not even going to sin this. I'm just going to add one of those angry emojis with the cursing symbols on it next to the sin count to protest how f***ing easy this was to predict before it even happened. Why is Sonic so hell-bent on destroying delicious snacks? Well, I'm not so much worried about the mess, which I'm sure he could clean up in no time if he had to, but now I don't even know if I can root for this character anymore.
I was just calling to say we're here.
I don't know whether to sin Tom for not realizing this bullshit reason for calling is immediately void, considering Sonic watched him step through a portal directly to his destination only a moment ago, or to sin Sonic for not calling him out on it, so I'll send them both. How do you hold your phone on a video call? At eye level, like Tom here? Down a bit, with the upshot of the bottom of your chin, also like Tom? Or are you exactly like Tom on this one call and just whip your phone up and down all willy-nilly from scene to scene? Commit to one angle! Or better yet, stop calling me on video calls at all!
And if you screw up my wedding, I will end you.
I hate shit like this. The reason why Rachel says this is because in the last movie, Tom tied Rachel to a chair for almost no f***ing reason. But her sister was compliant, as was her own daughter. Still, this bullshit about don't screw up my wedding suggests that Tom is always going around f***ing things up. Like that's a constant for his character. And that only he was to blame for that shit in the last movie.
That movie is the worst!
Playing your Parks and Recreation character via Sonic. I just noticed that Knuckles and Sonic's teeth are super f***ing white. Like now, in addition to understanding ring portals, I really want to know more about a universal dedication to one solid tooth color.
Ultimate power? I don't know what you're talking about.
Ultimate power. Now you speak my language.
A language that is being spoken by other people all the way across a yard through crackling electricity and somehow has been heard. Wait a minute. Are you telling me that a police car can slam into Knuckles with no problem, but Sonic couldn't even get near him when he tried to crash into him earlier?
Get in! I'm on your side!
No, they're not getting into cars with strange creatures that have just appeared out of nowhere. How is Sonic just shrugging and casually jumping in with Tails as if there is no such thing as alien stranger danger?
That's Knuckles, the last of the echidnas and the most dangerous warrior in the galaxy.
I have a hard time thinking Knuckles is super dangerous when he's struggling to catch up with an older model car.
I think we lost him.
If Knuckles could do this crazy flying and jumping maneuver to catch up with the police car, why didn't he do it before? He was just running after it like an asshole before this. A character that boldly jumped from a cliff earlier and subsequently flew away unharmed is suddenly afraid of falling off the cliff.
A buttcopter!
Buttcopter? I barely knew her! Anyway, thanks for making me stoop to your level, movie. Jim Carrey and the return of his Bruce Almighty Moon in a completely different movie, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm sorry, folks. Thank you for visiting the Mean Bean. All right, good night. Good night.
If this is the Mean Bean coffee shop, why is he being so nice to the customers when he closes early? Embrace the meanness and tell them to get the f*** out. They'll love the authentic asshole experience and bring their friends the next time. That's how CinemaSins started. Doing this highly suspicious activity without closing the goddamn blinds.
Oh, they are stairs.
Stairs built by someone who surrounded you and fired a warning shot over your shoulder. Why are you trusting this person?
I helped you retrieve the emerald, and you use it to destroy the hedgehog!
Why am I getting such Superman 2 vibe from this movie? Lex Luthor helps Zod find Superman, tells Zod Superman's weakness, and Lex becomes a side villain to a super powerful alien. In Superman 2, there was a green crystal that restores Superman's powers. In this movie, there's a green emerald that restores the power of Knuckles' race.
Look! There's an emerald symbol on the map Longclaw gave me. I never knew what it meant before.
But you did know of a bedtime story involving an emerald, right? Why wouldn't you connect those two things?
Something's happening.
You mean, just out of the blue? Why the f*** would the map start glowing now? They didn't say any magic words.
The emerald has the power to turn thoughts into reality.
We could have thought about a utopia where no one would ever need a stupid green emerald, but we decided not to because we're dicks.
Like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man from Ghostbusters.
Tails shushes Wade for interrupting Longclaw's previously recorded speech, but because he shushed, he missed the shocking moment when past Longclaw instinctively knew to pause long enough for future Tails to shush someone before continuing with Master Emerald lore.
Follow the map, find the emerald, and keep it safe.
It sounds like the Master Emerald will be safe if you just destroyed the map. Wasting your sacred message recording magic on emotional terrorism.
And with Knuckles already here, it's a race.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the map, and I'm sure the movie is going to bullshit its way into having Knuckles somehow follow Sonic throughout the movie, but that doesn't make it a race at all. That's more like bellocking.
I just came here to warn you. I'm not a field guy.
How the f did you even know Knuckles was coming after Sonic in the first place?
Could use some mushroom.
Okay, I get it. He's been living on a mushroom planet for nearly a year. But earlier when he was making his own mushroom coffee, the movie went through about 10 spit takes before it finally got as tired of it as we did, and never once was there a successful coffee that he didn't spit out. Is Tom playing volleyball on his own? He's the only person getting hit with the ball, and when he apologetically looks to his team, they are standing on a line. Rather than dispersed around the court, Tom should not apologize for his lack of skills. He should be furious that he's playing a solo game against assholes. In a moment, Tom will lament that Sonic doesn't have friends like these. Friends who will destroy an unequal competitor on a volleyball tournament, burst into a workout circuit, and then douse themselves in drinkable liquid. Hate this movie.
Sonic, in this weather, there's no way we're gonna get any readings on this thing. Should we go back?
Yes, you should, since you're the only one with a map and can go tomorrow when the weather is better. For some reason, you think Knuckles knows where to go on his own, even though he told Sonic that he needed him to find the emerald.
Ah, perfect.
Because of course there happens to be a small set of tiny creature-sized winter suits available for incognito purposes.
Remember that night at the baseball field? Your energy blast reached all the way to my home planet. I saw you save your whole village from that crazy mustache guy.
Okay, fine, the energy blast reached Tails' home planet, but why does that mean he could watch all of Sonic's adventures after that? Also, I'm confused about Tails' keyboard, which seems to be designed for tiny human fingers and not massive white-gloved hands like his own.
So you've been watching me this whole time? Even in the shower?
That's a trick question. Sonic the Hedgehog prefers bubble baths.
Man, you're good.
Watching bubble baths is even worse. What is happening right now? Why is this okay? How are there no previous texts before today? Does Sonic delete his messages all the time?
Just chilling, watching TV. ...
Why are we working with this imbecile?
Well, did you ever bother to tell the alien that the ... is when someone is writing a message? If you didn't, and you don't realize that someone from another planet might not understand this, maybe you're the imbecile.
Tiny magic hedgehog destroyed.
Yeah, but why?
I'm sorry, but I asked for the beef stew.
У вас изо рта пахнет козьими какашками.
Вы что, псих?
Even if Tails' translator isn't working correctly, why didn't it try to translate what the server just said? Somehow Sonic's pants are torn away from his body, and now I must sin the clothing company that created pants that would cause someone living in the tundra of Siberia to suffer needless pant repairs to avoid exposure to the elements.
There's gotta be something in here.
I don't know why Sonic can't just start doing some sort of flash to get out of this.
Where's the map?
Oh no, I left it on the table. Look.
If only there was someone with super speed who could steal the map back. God f***ing damn it.
Oh my god, it's a dance fight.
Thing that the producer said when reading the script somehow made it into the script. I said what I said.
Ah.
So you're telling me you can use your super speed to do this, but you can't use it to steal your map back? Got it.
Just follow my moves, you'll be fine.
Yeah, Tails, when I do some sudden dance moves that you have no idea are coming and have had no practice performing, you will somehow do the same moves simultaneously as me with no problem. There's no way I believe that these two could traverse the Siberian landscape clinging to each other by gloved grip strength alone. I mean, Tails invents things. Was a hammock harness thing too much to ask?
Today's forecast calls for clear sunny skies and a 100% chance of adventure.
Oh good, so you're not going to spend 15 minutes on a dance fight again? Awesome. Tails does not immediately exclaim, "My arm is ruined! I can't feel anything! I want my mom!" in this scene.
Ages ago, a fearsome group of warriors
Animated history sequence cliche.
forged the 7 Chaos Emeralds into the most unstoppable weapon ever created.
You mean Infinity Stones? Shh.
With it, a single warrior could defeat entire armies.
Oh, it could defeat entire armies? That's...
Believing no one should have such power, an order of heroes recovered the emerald and swore to protect it from evil.
Which is confusing, considering we were just told that the emerald was powerful enough for one person to destroy an entire army. But then seconds later, the king of all emeralds couldn't destroy this Parliament of Owls before they stole it from him. Also, why not just make another one?
Here we go.
No one stops to marvel that the wheelie mechanism maintained perfect balance for thousands of years, managed to not freeze into a locked position, and when the slots are lackadaisically slapped, they managed to stop in the perfect position.
Whoa, the compass.
This will lead us to the emerald.
If I've gone to out of my f***ing way Siberia with a map that has the symbols I need to open a statue that gives me a compass that leads to the emerald, why not just put the f***ing emerald here? Goddamn these f***ing movie quests, man. Like, honestly, did you think someone would accidentally find this cave in the mountains of cold as a snowman's taint Russia and spin the slots until they got the correct combination? How are you preventing the acquisition of this emerald by simply giving some dickhead a compass to just go to some other, just to the left of my anus part of the world? Put the next part of the quest here instead of making me f***ing travel again. God damn it.
Run!
So, you can't just grab Tails and super speed the f*** out of here and then simply ring to another place? Suddenly, this asshole Knuckles, who was prepared for everything Sonic could do earlier, isn't prepared for shit. now.
My rings!
You know, Sonic has had a lot of time to consider other options for toting around his magical portal rings. There are zippers in this world, there are tailors, there are designers, there are bored people on Etsy who will gladly take the dimensions of your odd Sonic body and make a pair of pants with zippered pockets. And if pants won't work because of the friction of running, let's discuss the highly controversial edition of the fanny pack.
Take the compass and get out of here!
The number of times Sonic could simply outrun something and doesn't makes me wonder if I missed a rule that he can't do that for some reason. Anyway, I'll estimate the number of times it happens and ring-a-ding away.
See ya, kids. Enjoy the fresh powder.
Waiting until the bad guy has spoken his clever punchline and the snow is directly on you to begin your escape route from the avalanche. The middle of fucking nowhere, Siberia has self-service.
I think I mixed up the rings when I was teasing JoJo.
But that would mean that you would have had to have been holding the portal ring right when you stopped playing volleyball and immediately turned around to perform your magic act to JoJo, and you were not.
This is gonna sound really crazy, but I'm gonna need to see that ring for just 1 second.
Why is it so hard to say, you have the wrong ring, here's the correct ring? In fact, he seems adamantly opposed to it, like you don't ever have to give a reason for interrupting a wedding. Everything about this wedding scene is the most contrived shit ever to get to this desired result.
Randall, why do all of your friends have weapons?
Let's talk about the government's plan. They wanted to find Sonic, so they went the logical route to find him. Have one of their agents pretend to fall in love with the sister of someone who's married to a guy who might have a connection to Sonic. And then what? Hope Sonic shows up to the wedding and take him down? If you're so sure that Sonic is associated with Tom, why not camp outside his house where Sonic regularly appears? Why go through all this shit? Sonic is resting against a metal cage that is apparently armed with voltage, and that's torture.
Sonic and his friend dropped this.
And by dropped, she means that it was buried in the snow that she decided to dig through for reasons. For some reason, the agents take Tom, Sonic, and Tails to a hotel to detain them, rather than having helicopters or SUVs come and pick them up and take them to a secure facility right away.
Is this meant to be a weapon? We're about to find out.
This is a terrible plan. They have no idea who Tails is, let alone what his backpack could contain. In fact, there is no way to know whose backpack it is in the first place. Their only clue is that JoJo said Sonic dropped it, which he didn't, because he wasn't wearing it when he blew through the portal, meaning the only reason anyone thinks the items in this bag could be useful to them is that the color of the backpack matches Tails' fur, and because Sonic is with Tails, that must mean he's somehow trustworthy enough to use the potentially dangerous things for reasons. Because of course the doohickey does the thingamajig exactly how the person intended, but how did they know it wouldn't kill this guy?
Randall! Wifey's home!
The decision to make Randall and Rachel's wedding an undercover government operation has added entirely too much runtime to a movie that should be 98 minutes tops.
Before I met you, I didn't think that I was even capable of real happiness.
Sonic skip! Well, maybe not that far. Although I do find these credits to be a bit mesmerizing. Kind of like when Frodo dove into that pool of faces that one time. I should probably get back to the movie. I'm thinking about it. This is the worst diaphragm in history.
The owls were fools to think they could hide this.
Honestly, this part of the puzzle is pretty well hidden. We're on a remote island, and the activated path seems to go into the f***ing ocean. The time for digs on the owl's struggles with discretion was back at the monolith opening to the compass. Also, these assholes created a magic pathway into the ocean to the emerald, and after the compass does its thing, it kills countless aquatic creatures just so the ocean can blow its load after holding it in for too long.
That's gotta be hundreds of miles away.
But, considering the Earth is 24,901 miles around, pretty fortunate, right?
Sonic, wait!
Aw, I guess when everyone was rescued and relocated to this beautiful oceanfront view, they went ahead and secured Tails' backpack to his back. Super nice of them. Oh, no. It's immediately gone in the next shot. And carry on.
Close.
When we see what Close is, it's Robotnik in a maid's outfit. The one he settles on is the black outfit with a cape and spiky shoulder pads. In what way was the maid's costume close?
Freeze, police!
Should come as no surprise, but this cop had no right to bust down the door of this coffee shop just because he saw Agent Stone playing with Robotnik's virtual wardrobe on this massive supercomputer. Man, f*** these f***ing owls with their f***ing Raiders of the Lost Ark bullshit. At this point, I went to Siberia, I followed a compass to a deserted island somewhere near Hawaii, and now I deserve the emerald. Actually, I never should have even been given a path to the emerald in the first place, and this should have been a series of wild goose chases, but if you're giving me a path to the emerald, why do you have to put me through this? Also, you gotta love the logic. Now that you've passed a series of tests, you deserve this emerald. We have told everybody that no one should ever have. Also, god damn it, Paramount. Every single fucking adventure movie you make has to come back to Indiana Jones, the Dora movie, the Angelina Jolie Tomb Raider movies, the Lost City, and now this. We stop making the same movie over and over, or does it really make you that much money? They do, don't they? It's pretty clear that you should not run blindly through this thing because of the traps. But That's what Robotnik and Knuckles do anyway.
I don't want to die like this! It's derivative!
Just because you admit it doesn't make it right.
Fire in the hole!
He says this before there's even a spark visible. How the f did he know fire was about to happen? While I debate the ranking of this movie on my list of biggest time wasters of 2022, please note that it flew up 10 spots to number 34 when this shot revealed that Dr. Robotnik could simply fly his way to the green beam on one of his egg drones. An egg drone that, for reasons, is suddenly not able to join his party. Knuckles smashes through a wall, indicating that Robotnik's GPS took them here and that the wall was the only obstacle to the destination. But if there's a solid wall you're not supposed to smash through here, why is there a staircase leading up to it?
Sadly, you're as useful to me now as a backstage pass to Limp Bizkit.
Is Knuckles really not hearing this? Sonic starts running up the stairs at a blistering pace, and he's about halfway up when the movie cuts to Robotnik and Knuckles. When it goes back to Sonic, he's still implausibly running up the stairs, and does so for about 3 more seconds, and yet somehow hasn't made it to the top yet. We've seen Sonic's extreme speed enough at this point to know that he should have already been sipping a latte at home on top of the Master Emerald by now. Why don't Knuckles and Sonic just speed up the staircase and stop him from taking the Emerald? Not like he has any particular leverage. I mean, he's got the high ground, but that's just for Jedis. Why the f does this whole place explode when Robotnik takes the Emerald? I really need to have a talk with these owls, because they suck at making any sense.
You're gonna tell me what I want to know.
This cop's committed so many ethics violations that he'll probably get suspended for 1 month and quietly get a raise and a promotion when he comes back.
I'm upgraded!
Sinister 3.0. My game is next level.
If there was ever a scene I wanted Martin Scorsese and others to film a reaction video for, it would be this one. Then I'd wait to see how they'd react to being put on YouTube for a reaction video. How did these assholes know that Robotnik was here? We know that the local cop, Wade, didn't radio this in because he's been illegally questioning Agent Stone for the past, 8 hours or something, and Robotnik just showed up. So how did the agents get to Montana from Hawaii in Game of Thrones warp time? I never understand why people take a calm step forward in situations like this. The movies love it because it's dramatic and confident, but in reality, all of these people would be shitting themselves and clamoring over each other to get away from danger. Everyone is in fight or flight mode right now, and I can't believe for 1 second that no one is actually fleeing.
Did you even glance at a manual?
If he's got an emerald that can wish things into existence, I don't even know why he needs a giant Godzilla-sized Iron Man to do whatever he needs to get done. I guess Tails had time to upgrade this old plane, and all that free time between waking up on a beach and directly flying out to sea. Biplane shoots a bunch of pew-pew bullets at this discount kaiju, and I feel like I'm just watching someone's VFX reel to consider them for a job shooting wedding videos.
Time to fight!
Yeah, but why say that while making the symbol for a vagina?
We have to find his weak spot.
What do you think this is? A video game? Whoops. Yeah, caught it. I caught me saying it. What the f are these assholes holding on to?
I didn't outsmart you. I'm just the distraction.
Well, not if you say it out loud. Given what we know about the Emerald, which is admittedly not much, I don't even know how a Robotnik allows this to happen. I guess we're supposed to understand some sort of rule where the Emerald doesn't absorb into the person's body without some sort of consent. Earlier, Dr. Robotnik touched the Emerald and epically became one with it. Now Sonic is limping around with it and nothing is happening. The Master Emerald disintegrates before our eyes, but then the 7 smaller emeralds wait about 40 seconds to come alive and enter Sonic's heart. And guys, I just have no fucking clue what is going on. Robotnik crushes the area where Sonic, Tom, and Matty are. You can see a giant smoke ring of dirt dispersing from the area. If Sonic is actually powerful enough to survive it, good for him. But what about Tom and Matty and the truck they were driving? This movie is saying that Sonic turned Ray the Flying Squirrel, stopped the foot from crashing into them, but the locus of destruction says otherwise. No. I like how Supersonic chucks this massive dome disc onto the ground right over the general area where his Earth parents are huddled by a truck. Like, if Dr. R's robot didn't f you enough, let's animate Sonic accidentally f***ing them extra hard.
Sonic, you were the most powerful hero in the universe, and you let it go. Why?
Because I still have some growing up to do.
Yeah, sure, that, and maybe no one should ever have that power, like the Owls said. I disagree with the Emerald Quest the Owls set up, but I am totally on board with their no one should have this power philosophy. Knuckles fixes the Master Emerald, but I thought it required the other 7 emeralds, which Sonic sent into space a minute ago. Can someone tell me how this works?
I think that was our only ball.
Bringing a single ball to a baseball game. Probably the most depressing part of this movie is that everyone asks Knuckles to believe he can have fun and build friendships, but then everyone abandons him on the field like total assholes. Huh, looks like the scoreboard fixed itself in the last minute or so. Person takes off their mask so that you'll know who they are, and for absolutely no other reason, cliche.
What was it?
Coordinates, sir.
Coordinates? To what?
Will you just spit out the Shadow of the Hedgehog already? What's with this I talk, then you talk, then I talk nonsense. This movie is 2 hours long. Stop showing us shit and just wrap up already.
Is this what you really, really want?
Yarp.
If my calculations are correct,
When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious shit.
I just want to hang out. No big deal.
In this video, I'm answering all your questions about bristlenose or bushy-nose plecos. What's the best way to keep them? What's the best way to breed them? What do you feed them? How do you raise them? How do you sex them?
ultimate power.
Itty bitty living space.
Water. Why'd it have to be water?
Wait! That wasn't the deal!
That wasn't part of our deal, Blackheart! That wasn't part!
I'm a genius. No, several geniuses. A gaggle, a swarm, a flock of freaking Freuds.
Did you even glance at a manual?
I want you to get a fucking driver's manual! I want you to study that motherfucker! And I want you to obey the goddamn rules!
You want me? Come and get me!
If you want him, come and claim him.
By the power of Grayskull.